Good afternoon. I hope everyone is doing well. My name is Jan Boydston. I'm an author of a children's book called Finding Socksville, which my brother and I wrote during COVID. But in addition to our book, I also like to read other authors' children's books. And I found this lovely one, Stella Brings Her Family, in our public library. This book is written by Miriam Schiffer, illustrated by Holly Clifton Brown. So I'd like to read this to you. Hope everyone is doing well. It's lovely here today in North Carolina, just a really beautiful day. So why did Stella want to bring her family? She goes to Elmwood Elementary School, and you can see all the children heading into the classroom, and there's Stella with both of her parents. With the hug goodbye, there's her parents. Stella dashed to her cubby and raced to her spot. Mrs. Abbott had a surprise for the class. Look at all the children. Children of all cultural backgrounds, which is what I try to aim for in the books I read online. I don't always get there, but I try. This is what the teacher says. We're going to have, I need to turn a little bit this way. We're going to have a celebration for Mother's Day. All the children look kind of excited, except Stella looks a little concerned. And each of you can invite a special guest. Jonathan and Leon said they'd invite their moms. Carmen was sure her mom would come, but Stella, you can see Stella here. See her in the corner. She's thinking about her parents, but Stella had two dads. Everyone else had a mother. Howie had two mothers. Stella would be the only one without a mother at the Mother's Day party. Kind of sad for Stella. Let's look at the photos. There's some more assignments, and we're going to see how Stella feels about that. That afternoon, Stella and her clay stared at each other. They're all making things out of clay, and Stella's kind of staring at her clay. The next day, Stella worried about the party when she should have been worrying about other things. She's playing soccer, and she's not thinking very much about soccer, so it looks like one of her schoolmates may be going to hit her in the back of the head with the ball, not on purpose, of course. Here they are. Looks like they're all working and drawing artwork. All week, Stella's appetite was gone. "What's wrong, Stella?" Jonathan asked. "I have no brother. I have no mother to bring to the Mother's Day celebration." "No mother?" asked Leon. Excuse me. I don't know why it is, but often when I read, all of a sudden I get a cough. "But who packs your lunch like my mom does for me?" "Daddy knows just what I like," said Stella. "The problem isn't lunch. It's that I have no mother to bring to the Mother's Day party." So they're all talking. They're creating cards to invite their mothers. They're eating lunch too. And inside her lunchbox, there's a note that says, "Your favorite, love, Daddy." Now they're all playing outside. This is a beautiful book. Great illustrations too. "No mother?" asked Howie. "But who reads you bedtime stories like my mothers do for me?" "Daddy and Papa read stories to me," said Stella. "But who kisses you when you're hurt?" Karma asked. "Well, that's a long answer," said Stella. "I get lots of kisses when I'm hurt, either from Papa or Daddy or Nona or Aunt Gloria or Uncle Bruno or Cousin Lucy, but I still have no special guest for Mother's Day." So they're talking as they're riding their bicycle on the way home. All of her friends are wondering if she's well taken care of, but she's assuring them she is. Jonathan asked, "Why don't you invite them all?" "What a wonderful idea," Papa and Daddy said. So here Jonathan, her friend who rode home with her, comes in, sees both of her daddies, and says, "Why don't you just invite them all?" But Stella wasn't so sure. Look, have you ever done this where you go to bed at night and you kind of wonder what you should do about something? Well, that's what's happening to Stella. Soon the children were crafting invitations. I think they're decorating everything too in the room. Stella worked harder than everyone. She has fold out invitation, and she's got all the people that care for her and love her on hers. I think this is the sweetest story. The big day arrives. Here's Stella with who else she brought. Daddy, Papa, Nona, Uncle Bruno, Aunt Gloria, and Cousin Lucy went with Stella to school. She had so many guests. Stella hoped it would be all right. Look, Stella's very happy. And she does have a great family to come with her. The party was better than Stella had imagined. Howie came with his two moms, and Jonathan brought his grandmother while his mom was away. Stella had the biggest crowd of all. Look at these lovely illustrations with all the other children that are there, with two moms, with a grandmother, with her mother. You know, this is how our families really are today. It's not just a mother and a father and the children. If you look across the United States and around the world, there's many kinds of families. They squeezed into the story circle and made frames for their art. Look at this. I love this. Here's drawings that each of the children did with who they brought. And look at Stella's. She's got all the people that she brought, and they made little frames for them. I love this book. Stella thought that the day was turning out fine. In fact, it was better than fine. Papa was a big hit. Look, this reminds me of my brother. This is the way he was with his children. He's down on his hands and knees, letting the children ride on his back. I always used to call it playing horsey. And all of the others are watching. They're taking photos. The day turned out fine. Stella didn't have to worry as much as she was worried. Later that day, Miss Abbott was worn out. This is a good for teachers. And look what she's got. Happy Mother's Day. Stella told her not to worry. For Father's Day, she wouldn't bring nearly as many people. So she's talking to the teacher saying, "I'm sorry I brought so many people. I promise when it gets to be Mother's Day, I won't bring so many." That's just great, isn't it? I think teachers are pretty tired at the end of the day. Just two. So for Mother's Day, she'll just bring two. Now, look at this very carefully. The little girl who has two mothers is wondering what she's going to do for Father's Day. Stella brought her framed picture home with everybody. And of course, they hung it on the wall. And they're enjoying dinner, and she's so happy with her two fathers, and that they got to come to school with her whole family, and that everything worked out well. I wanted to just share briefly that this catalog of diverse kids' books was compiled by Tom Tracy. 100 indie authors, 150 kids' books. Our book was included. But Tom happens to be in one of those families. His children were adopted, and there's two guys. So two daddies, not a traditional mother, but a great support system. And he, like us, realized it's sometimes hard to find children's book for diverse kinds of families, even though there's a lot of them out there. So we hope this will be available pretty soon online. Tom's aiming for that. I was able to order a copy. I'm trying to figure out how to get a PDF of it, which is available for all of you, if I can figure out how to attach it. But anyway, thank you so much today for listening to our book. You might find this at the library or online. Stella Brings the Family, and it might be just the perfect book for your family. Take care. Have a good afternoon and evening and a good week. Bye.